Good Saturday morning, everybody. Here we are starting a little fire in the forge. We're going to see if we can get some more work done on the Dragon or Ram, I'm not sure. Pigtail meat turner or barbecue fork, I'm not sure. But we're going to get some work done to it today regardless. Just got to get the fire going nice and hot so we can carry on. And I'll just get this video going and pause it every now and then and skip into different spots. Got a nice fire started. It shouldn't take too much longer to get heated up. And then we'll get to heating and beating. We're getting there. Alright, well, fire's up to temp. I've got the barbecue tool right there going into the fire. Do some small crosses while I'm at it. Get them in the fire and try not to do too many irons in the fire today. I'm about to put the wood grain onto the crosses. This is the bottom die. Goes right in there in the hardy hole. And this is an old ball peen hammer that I've also got that. So that when I put a hot cross in here, when I smack it with both of them, I wind up with wood grain on both sides. And then what we wind up with, if it ever focuses, is a wood grain. It's a little fuzzy, but oh well. A wood grain on both sides of the cross. Now just got to heat up the top, curl it over. And then after heating up the top of the cross, whatever I determine to be the top, we just flatten it out a little bit. And once I heat it again, then I'll go ahead and curl it over. That way you can put a string to it for a necklace or put it on a keychain or whatever you'd like. All right. One problem is, it cools down so quick when you're doing this. And sometimes even for these tiny little things, you got to do 2 heats. And normally, I've got a pair of needle nose pliers that I've made into little curling pliers. So this will heat up in just a second. And then I'll finish curling it over. It doesn't take much time at all. And then we just need to straighten it out a little bit. Bring it back to flat. And there we've got one small necklace or keychain cross. Now I just need to heat it up again a little bit and wire brush it. And then put some beeswax on it. And one neat thing when you're wire brushing it, if you use a steel wire brush, it just cleans all the stuff off. But if you use a brass bristle brush, it actually gives it a brass or gold color to it. And it's just make sure you get all the little rough pieces off. You don't want to hurt anybody, but you can see how it's got a golden color to it now. Drop it down to beeswax, let it get a good coating. And we will take our little cross and we will set it aside to dry. And cool down, of course. And while I was busy doing all the stuff with the cross, the dragon is ready. So let me set up a few things and then we'll get to work on the dragon. All right, let's see if we can't give some eyeballs and nostrils to this thing. We're going to go ahead and curl the horns around when we get closer to the ends so that whoever's got this in their hand doing their barbecuing doesn't cut themselves on it, which would be not good. We'll go with some eyeballs first. Booger's hot. And that's one casualty of holding things with my hands. I probably need to put them in the vice grips. And we'll get another heat on it, make it real soft. But I think you can see where it's starting to get eyes in it. There and there. We'll get another heat. Just a little bit smarter. I almost forgot to turn the camera on. All right, the beginnings of eyes, the beginnings of nostrils. I got to poke some holes in the center of the eyes. And we're getting there. All right, Mr. Dragon, you're going to get slits for eyes. Yeah, it looks a little cross-eyed, I think. But, you know, that'll work too. Alright. Alright. And I'm going to have to give him a mouth in a minute. That'll be interesting. But we're getting there. Focus, focus. Well, for the mouth, we're going to stand it up in the hardy hole and use a chisel. All right, let's see how this is going to work. Oh yeah. Where are we? There we are. Not really sure right now if it's a dragon or a cow. I don't know. We will find out. This will be one of those, you call it whatever you want to call it. Whatever makes you happy. I know we're kind of bouncing back and forth here, but this is all on the one day out at the forge. The part that I dislike the most about making things, especially small things, is filing. You've got to get all these rough edges down before you're ready to do anything else. And just filing and sanding, and yeah, that's never been my happy point. But that's okay. All right, I took it out of the fire once. I'd forgotten to turn the camera on. I started the curve in the antler, horn, I guess, if it's a dragon, without letting anybody know I was doing it. But I think I've got to get these bent around enough so that whoever's using this does not get stabbed by that. So I'm probably going to bring it all the way around into a full circle. And I forgot to turn the camera on because there's a blacksmithing term that goes with that, and I will share that with you as soon as I finish forging for the day. Almost forgot to do it again. This will be a little bit more of a kinder, gentler dragon. He won't have any sharp edges to catch anybody's hands. Okay, that's back in the fire. Alright, and because my fire is getting really hot and I'm not paying a whole lot of attention, I almost burnt this antler horn thingy. I could just about start seeing sparks coming up. And once you burn something, it's pretty much garbage. So we're getting there. We're just going to take a bunch of heats. Maybe one more. And try and get them to curl around nicely. And then I think we'll finish there. One hard part about doing things like horns and antlers and things that get real skinny is the tip will heat up a whole lot quicker than the rest of it will. Somehow I got a little bit out of round here. But the cool thing about blacksmithing is you can bend things and get them to go again. So you might not have a couple, they might not be too even, but who cares, you know. Howdy-doody-do. All right, we're going to go ahead and try and bend them a little bit better by hand. Take out some of the crooked parts. If that's even possible. Well, that's about as straight as I'm going to worry about getting it. Some strange looking horns, but I might tip them up a little bit. We shall see. All right, we're going to see if we can't tip them up a little bit. Somehow. I don't know. Oh, I need to put them in a vise, which you won't see. Okay, well, I got some dreaded final to do on that one, but I did manage to bend them up a little bit more. And we're going to call this one a ram. More of a ram than a dragon. And I think I'll finish with him for the day before I get too ahead of myself. All right, well, that's the end of the forging for today. We're just going to get a couple hours in here. Pull this out. The coal just put itself to bed. Nice hot fire. Sorry about the jumbling around. Get everything out of my air pipe. Put some stuff away. And this is the forge for those that don't know it. There's the forge. There's the blower. My anvil. Chain keeps it from wringing my brains out. Quiets the anvil down. Post vise. Another forge, which I need to get. I need to put the belt on. If anybody needs a forge, wants to buy one, just let me know. And baby girl. All right, so today we worked on the 2 crosses. And we worked on the dragon. Goat. Probably goat. Sheep. Ram. I don't know. But it'll be a pigtail cooker most probably. It's a beautiful day on the farm. And it's been chilly. It's been getting down in the upper 30s, but we still have rosebuds on the rose bushes. So here it is, a nice beautiful fall mid-November day. And we've been out to the forge and worked on a few things today. And we worked on 2 crosses, which I try to always get a couple crosses going while I'm out there. I need to build up on them. Little story on the crosses. You can bear with me. I promised myself a long time ago, after I first started making these crosses, that I would never sell them. These would always be given away. They'd be in my pocket in case somebody needed prayer or just needed a cross if they were feeling down that day. But along with getting the cross, they have to deal with about 3 minutes of me talking. So in order to see the crosses right now, you have to deal with about 3 minutes of me talking. I used the term today, which did come into play, and it's called too many irons in the fire, blacksmithing term. And it comes true to me when I try to get too many things done. So here's the story that goes with the cross. On days, usually Sunday afternoons after church, I decide to go out to the forge, and I think to myself, I'm going to make nothing but crosses, just crosses. And I set out to do that, get the fire going, get the cross blanks ready, get a nice hot fire, lay some cross blanks in there so that I can work on the crosses. And I look at the fire and I realize that it's a lot bigger than those small cross blanks need. So I think, well, I can put something else in there. So I'll go ahead and put something else in there, like a barbecue tool, a goat's head, dragon's head, whatever we want to call it. And I'll have that in there along with it. And it's a bigger, heavier piece. So I work on the crosses some. But then I'll notice that the bigger piece that I put in there requires attention because it's already gotten hot. And you don't want to just leave it in there doing nothing. So I'll take it out and I'll work on it. And I'll put it back in the fire. And over the progress of time, I'll find that that larger piece commands more and more of my attention. So I'll make the crosses during the day, during that afternoon, but I'll also work on that barbecue piece. And what has happened is my attention goes to the larger barbecue piece. Now, I'd say I put 2 or 3 cross blanks in the morning or in that afternoon at the beginning of the fire. And come the end of the day, I realize that I come up one short. And the reason I come up one short is because I lost track of it. I don't know where it went. It's a small item and it just disappears. Well, at the end of the day, when I clean out the fire pot, I'll find the cross blank in any shape that it was in down at the bottom of the fire, just sitting down there looking at me like, yep, you forgot me, didn't you? And I've found that this goes along a lot with things in life. One day, I'd like to say that the Lord told me or enlightened me. He didn't verbally tell me because I don't hear voices. Not that I'll admit to anyway. But he still has a way of getting his point across to you. There'll be mornings when I'll get up and I'll think, I'm going to dedicate this entire day to the Lord. So I decide I'm going to praise him. I'm going to pray to him. I'm going to pray for others. I'm going to do good to other people. I'm just going to devote the whole day to the Lord. And then something else comes along and yeah, I really got to take care of that too. So I'll take care of that and that'll go in there. And over the course of the day, that second thought that comes to my mind will start to take precedence over my original thoughts of dedicating that day to the Lord. I find that happens to me a lot. And what it is it's called too many irons in the fire. Here I had the fire all ready to go, the actual fire for the crosses, and I decided I had more room in here and I could put more things in, and they took over. And with the thought of dedicating the day to the Lord, and you start out on a great note and you had all the best intentions in the world steps in and the world commands more of our attention, be it television, radio, news, other people. There are always other things that need to be done, but we'll tend to put what we originally wanted to do, which in my case was just work on things for the Lord that day, just be close to him. And they get pushed aside, and that's called too many irons in the fire. So we really have to be careful in life, no matter what we're doing, whether we're doing a job, whether we're working for the Lord, or we're out playing in the forge. Can't have too many irons in the fire. Slow yourself down, settle on 1 or 2 things, and keep it straight. But now at the end of the day, in the forge, when I find that cross down the bottom, that's just like the end of the day after I've decided I was going to dedicate that day to the Lord. At the end of the day, Jesus is always there waiting for me. No matter how much I pushed him aside, no matter how much other things have come into my life, during that day, Jesus is always there. He never leaves me. So hold that thought, and someday you might get one of these crosses, and if you do, you might have to hear the whole spiel again. So just smile, nod, I'm old, I forget. Y'all have a very blessed day. Thank you. Love you. Bye.